Welcome to this week's Dirt Shed Show.
Yes, this week we're going to dive into the things the pros are using and do we really actually need to use them at all?
Yes, we're still reveling in the EWS awesomeness. We're checking out some racing hacks, not many bodges there. Plus we'll be rating some custom bike paint jobs.
Let's do it. Yes, welcome to this week's show where we have got tons to get into, some really useful stuff. But first, Neil, we can't go too far into the show without talking about the EWS that's just gone and how amazing it was.
Aye, the Tweed Valley.
Nice, nice, yes. It was incredible, wasn't it?
It was. So,
home win for Ella Connolly.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I rode with that.
What bike was she on?
Oh, she was on Candale. Jekyll, which I went and rode in Scotland with her. I thought she was incredibly fast when I followed her. Yeah. So I was expecting more of her last year, but obviously she's come in swinging this year. So
she sure
good
has.
on her.
Yeah, Bex Barona, she was also right up there, nearly doing a double peat.
New bike.
She won last year, but yeah, on the Yeti, looking
Yeti,
great.
You got a strong team. We've got, what's his face? Mick Hanna, I've totally forgot his name, riding the e-bike as well.
He didn't do too bad as well. He was in the top 10 of the e-bike race. And then in the men's, we had an absolutely astounding win for Richie Rude. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Pro level. Just command performance.
Especially watching the highlights, I've raced in Leithen many a time over the years, downhill and enduro. It's a really hard place to race, as you probably saw in the highlights. Well, maybe you don't quite get it, but it's so tight between the trees and it all looks the same. So if you think you're cutting tight and there's another tree there, because you've sort of misrecognised that word, the part of the track. So I find it a really hard place to race. And for someone who doesn't know it, to show up and do that well, it's brilliant. Because I don't want to say there's too much local knowledge, but Innes Graham, brilliant. I don't know even if he is even local to the Tweed Valley, but he's a Scottish rider, and he won the pro stage. Brilliant ride, well done.
He had fastest times both times down there.
I know, and he's not even raced, I don't think. He was an ex-pro racer, sort of had a few years off and has come back, and brilliant ride. Amazing.
Well, he's okay. He's okay.
Exactly.
And then a shock result, I would say, for Jack Moyer, down in 29th overall.
Yeah.
I reckon, I've got an idea. 26, bit better, not much. I've got an idea, right? I think he's just too damn big to fit through those trees.
I reckon there's a story there that we're not hearing. I know he struggled with his shoulder and he had it rebuilt or whatever over the off season, but something's not quite right.
Oh dear.
And he's only got another week and a bit for round 2, so hopefully we'll see him come back. He's one of my favourite riders. I'd love to see him up there. So I think it's a bit of a shame for Jack.
Yeah, he was a great champion last year, but it was amazing, and I was just blown away with the speed. And we'll come to that a bit later on in the show, as we will some special race edition hacks and bodges from EWS. But let's get into this week's topic, right? I love this topic, right, Neil, because when I was watching the tech highlights from Anna from EWS, I noticed this product on a bike, a couple of bikes. And I wasn't really that familiar with it. It's this thing here. It's the O-chain.
I'm glad you've got one, because I've been trying to get my hands on one.
So what basically this does is this helps your bike manage chain stretch. When your bike's going through its motion in the swing arm. Basically, this is on elastomers.
So we've done many a video, well, a couple of good videos on chain versus chainless, and this kind of is somewhere in the middle where obviously you can pedal, but you get that sort of release of tension on your chain, so your rear suspension should work better. So
basically what the riders are doing are using, but remember, they're in a gravity race, right? Doddy has tried this because I instantly thought this is the idler killer. Because I'm not a fan of the idler wheel. These high pivot bikes, they're having to use an idler because basically the chain's got to go that direction, else it's just going to be snapped in too.
It just totally restricts the movement of the rear.
And it affects the braking, it affects the action of the shock itself. And so I thought this was the idler killer. But then Doddy explained to me he'd ridden it, and it actually doesn't ride that great because obviously you get the elastomer action when you pedal as well. So you get this kind of spongy feeling. So for a pedaling rider,
but some people
this isn't the answer.
We've seen a lot of people using them, like you say, we've seen Nico Mullally design a couple of different frames now, and he did try a high pivot, didn't like it. It's gone to mid pivot. So some rearward axle path, but he's using one of those.
chain,
We see a load of these on the downhill race World Cup circuit. I'd love to try one.
But let's just talk about what it actually means. So a high pivot to a low pivot. Take us through that briefly, Neil. What that actually means and what the problem is.
Well, really, with a high pivot, you get the advantage of the rear axle path going like that. So when you hit a bump, it moves out of the way, so your rear suspension works better. That's why we see a lot of them in the World Cup circuit downhill. We see a lot of high pivot bikes at EWS, but you need, like I said, the idler to get rid of that chain tension, the chain growth, which would otherwise really affect the suspension and your pedaling as well.
Yeah.
Which is why you're saying you don't like it, but you like the idea of maybe using this instead of the
I did like the idea of this until I spoke to Doddy.
Yeah.
And then what he described to me, the sensation, sounded horrible. So this is where I got to this conversation.
That's because you're a trials rider, though. Because I think
maybe
for every advantage, you're probably going to get some disadvantages, and that might be it. But I reckon you get used to it.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's definitely worth testing. I think you're going to be trying it on an e-bike,
I would love
aren't
to,
you? So it's going to be quite interesting to see what you think. Doddy also thinks he's got a single pivot bike he's going to try us on. He thinks that might work slightly better for that.
I've heard we might be seeing more of these coming on
it's
more
quite
bikes.
an interesting product, but it got me thinking the pros are using it, and then we've got pros with bikes with idler wheels on, and it made me think, how much of this do we actually really need? Because Doddy came out with a great sentence, which I really loved. Pros need exceptional performance from their bike on specific situations. However, we, as normal riders, sorry, not you, Neil.
I still want to say.
Me and Joey, as normal riders, we need very good performance in all situations. So, O-chains, idlers, low pivots, do we really need any of it?
Yeah. Because if you don't need that, you might as well ride a bike from the mid-90s, but that's fine.
Are you saying I'm going to have a bike with a high, like an idler on it?
No.
Because I don't love the line, man. I don't love it.
I know people that have tried high pivots and, like Nico and I didn't like it that much. But I know people that have tried them and really been underwhelmed.
And why would they not like it? What does it do in a sort of negative respect that would make them not like it? Because we know that if you've got a bike that has got no influence from the chain in its performance, hence the Aaron Gwyn and the Nico Mullally runs of the past, chainless, great results, we've learnt that the suspension works better when the chain cannot interfere with that situation.
But the Commissar Supreme, everyone calls it the magic carpet, soaks up all the bumps, great if you want it to.
Yeah.
If you want a bike that's poppy and reactive, you don't want a bike that's stuck to the ground the whole time. So for some riders, it's a buzz killer. If your bike just wants to stick to the ground, that's no fun, is it?
No.
Especially if you're a trail rider or a cross-country rider, you want a bike to be really agile and move around. Don't want a high pivot.
What's your favourite?
I've not ridden a high pivot long properly, really, other than a couple of days in this. I'd love to try one, but I love my average, like my Canyon Spectral. It's not a high pivot at all. It's just, it just works. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's efficient. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And it pops and it's fun. And the suspension is pretty good.
So I feel like that's bringing us to that midpoint of like the. I mean, I don't think this is a mass market product. Although you did tell me earlier on this might be a mass market product on
e-bike riders love these.
But this kind of product and things like high pivot and idlers, I'm not sure. I think there's a line there where the everyday rider doesn't necessarily need to cross.
Probably, but they still probably want it.
Baby, let us know in the comments down below. What do you think about products like that? Do you feel like you're suffering from chain stretch on your local ride? Is that happening? Do you need the Common Cell Magic Carpet? I was going to say car park. Let us know in the comments section down below. It's a very interesting one. Right, let's jump into some news and then we're going to crack on with the show. Okay, Tom's away because he's tired from doing an EWS, and why not? So we're going to handle the news, and I'm going to start with this, Neil. Brand new line from Fox.
Ooh.
Tani Seagrave has been working with Fox on this new design. It looks amazing.
She's got a load of stuff. TS57, they call it collection. She's always had a custom kit, really amazing looking kit from Fox. Now you can get involved, buy some of it. Check out some of her thoughts behind doing this.
Yeah, well, it's all inspired by an original hoodie that she had from Fox, that it was the first thing she'd bought for mountain biking of her own, and it really etched in her memory, and that's what she's brought that flavour of this hoodie that she had with Fox logo in flame colours, and she's brought it into this range. Looks very cool.
Custom paint, custom kit.
It's all right,
These
isn't it?
pros, live life.
We've also got a couple of new products to announce. Neil, some very fancy stuff from E13. Nice dropper post.
Well, they got a couple of things. They got some new direct mount chain rings, plus this new Vario infinite dropper post. Comes in a load of different sizes, massive range. They've got tool-free adjustments. You can adjust the amount of drop on your post. You've got 90 to 120 mil, so you can change that between those. Also, you've got 4 different models. Biggest one is 180 up to 210 mil.
Whoa.
So you can get as big a drop as possible on your bike and just obviously size it down to get your exact seat height.
And a new shock from Öhlins, which looks lovely.
Doesn't it just? Swedish brand Öhlins. Yeah, I love it. It's an updated TTX22. It's their coil shock. They've updated the usability. It's got 3-position high-speed compression adjuster, low-speed compression and rebound dials.
Very, very nice. And they always look good. They make a bike look fine. So there you go. Right, I tell you what else I've got to tell you about now, Neil. This is last week. We've got a chance to talk about it. Is the Global Bike Festival. It's about to happen.
When are you going? I'm going on Monday.
I'm going on Friday, and then we're going to do a little bit of. So I'm going now, actually, as the Dirt Shed show's out today. So I've gone. Let's just take it that I've gone, and yeah, we're getting ready for the festival. But we've got so much going on in that festival, and there's so many things that it's almost, we could do a whole show about it.
Maybe next week we will.
Well, we probably will. We're going to be doing a show from Sailback, but obviously I want to let everyone know they should be expecting some great nightlife. We've got some amazing DJs, incredible lineup. We're going to all be going on rides, epic rides every day, Neil.
I've met a few people in real life, so we'll see you there next week. Can't wait to meet everybody and go for some rides and have some partying as well.
Yeah, I heard there's a pub too. It all sounds fantastic. Don't miss out. If you haven't got your ticket, you might be a bit too late by now, but it'll be great if we can see you there.
Yeah.
Hacks and bodges! Hacks and bodges!
We really
sing a long time
this week because they're all hacks. You don't need to have a hack.
It's just the Hacks Racing Edition.
That'll do.
This is very cool. While we were at EWS, we spotted some really cool bits, and I cannot let them slide. Tech were all over this. Starting with, did you see this, Neil?
Did.
You can't buy this, but Hope have made a dropper post lever.
Yeah.
And it's cool, and it's adjustable.
With their little tweaker they use on brake levers.
They couldn't get any. Basically, they couldn't get any, so they went, we'll just make one.
This seems
and it's
like
the coolest one you can get.
Sounds like a great. Well, Hope, why aren't you doing this anyway? Surely you should be doing this.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Like that a lot. Yeah. Next up, I really love this. I love seeing a bit of factory on the pro bikes, and I think nothing looked more factory than this little linkage arm on the GTs.
Although sometimes they look to me like a second thought, like actually...
We better put a linkage in here.
We want to change the rear wheel size.
Something's missing. But I like it because they've got their like custom paint jobs, which look really cool, but then they just get raw metal in the
So that's letting them run a mullet setup, 27.5 rear.
I think it is. I think it is. And then also, this one I loved, Eric Olsen's Tour de EWS bike. This is sick, right? So basically, Eric and his mate, they are going to ride 2 every round, well, the first 3 rounds of the EWS.
On their race bikes?
On their race bikes, carrying everything on the bike and on their backs, including the spare wheels that they would actually use in the race.
What? Surely there's someone that's going there that can carry your stuff.
No, they're carrying everything. Oh, they're taking it all. In that, and they're racing in the pro...
With all the stuff on their backs? That's mental.
No, they do take the stuff off when they're in the race. But isn't that cool? That bike just looks amazing. It's got everything on it. Thrown the kitchen sink at it. Some great hacks and bodges from the pros this week.
Yeah.
I like doing that. But if you've got a hack or a bodge, it doesn't need to stand up quite to that level. But if you have got a hack or a bodge you'd like to share with us, then please do. We love seeing them. Hit the old uploader there in the description down below the video, and you could be on the show next week. Shop shout out time, and I tell you what, it's a banger this week. Look, I've got my new Word logo t-shirt. And just over there, Neil, there's a hoodie that matches it.
Hang on, before you get there, a new jumper as well, and a new cap.
Yeah, the 5-panel cap.
Thank you very much.
Sick, actually. And there, there's a new Word all down the arm there.
Blue is the new black.
Yes, I quite like seeing the logo on the arm. Actually, there's some cool stuff in the store, so make sure you check it out. But if you want to get your hands on this stuff, it's limited edition, so get in there quick. It's a banger, and it won't be around for long.
Hey, time for some bonus tech.
Cool.
New Ergon GXR grips. So these are air cell rubber technology.
Brand new rubber.
Kind of like XC endurance vibes from these grips. So super comfortable. I like them.
Yeah,
not lock on.
I was holding them earlier on. Yeah, that took me actually. There's no lock on, so they look different, but it's old school, but they felt very soft,
exceptional
very nice.
damping quality, thanks to countless micro air pockets.
And what we know from Ergon, right, because I've met the guys, they've come in to meet us here in the shed, and they go deep into the tech of this stuff, like you wouldn't believe. They spend so much time on working on this stuff. So if they say it's new rubber, it blooming well is.
I'm looking forward to trying them out. Caption contest.
Yes, we've got a very bunny rabbit looking.
What is wrong with this
Rich
face?
Payne, I don't know. But we got some good captions for it, and we're going to give away a stunt mug to the winner.
Look at this one.
Brand new red one, lovely, isn't it? First one is from JB. He says, let me drop in first. I'm going to shred these trails just like a beaver shreds wood.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he's doing.
Adam Harkin, the same vibes. After the recent storm, Rich is out in full force, beavering his way through the fallen trees.
There's a lot of beaver action going on in this one. And next up, we've got Rusty Fox, who says, when someone pronounces a bike brand name incorrectly.
Comenkel. What's the worst brand for people getting it wrong?
Comenkel, you did well there. That was pretty good. I think the one I always struggle with is I've forgotten it now.
Canyon's easy.
Canyon's easy. It's one of my favourite bikes. I really struggle to pronounce it. Cannondale. Bloody good. Bloody good. Anyway, who are you going to give the mug to, Neil?
I say JB. First beaver.
First beaver, you are.
Oh,
winner! That was way too close. Right, here's this week's caption contest photo. There you go. God, the creators are brilliant. Look at that. We have got an amazing photo. Give us a caption for that in the comments down below this video. You could be winning a stunt mug just like this one next week. Oh, I was going to handle my fingers.
Look at all the dents on this table.
Oh, that's terrible. Some things I like this week, Neil. Start with this one. Oh, I cannot wait to see the big videos coming out from this, epic videos. Hans, Ray and Rob Warner in Mexico on like one of Hans's adventure trips.
Sounds dangerous.
Oh, sounds brilliant. Don't you just wish you were on that?
No.
Hang out with Rob in Mexico.
No.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
Would it?
But I love seeing those two guys together, and I cannot wait to see what we get from that.
Yeah.
Some brilliant photo shoots, I expect. It's very cool.
I saw this cool post from Jared Graves, who was at Tweed Valley, and he says basically about his mate and his old teammate Richie Rood, saying, seeing this kid growing up from a voice breaking, pimples and braces through to owning the world, which, if, like I said earlier, I think his ride there was incredible. Just showing up. No one really knows off season, people like Jack Moyer, you don't know what's going on, show up and just smoke it like that.
Yeah.
Especially after what happened last year. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's a great result. And yeah, really nice to see Graves coming in there with a compliment. Very cool. Also, there were some great custom bikes at EWS, but look at Lewis Buchanan's bike.
We're getting into them.
Look at that.
That is, I don't know, what do you call that effect? It looks cool. Is that a wrap, I guess?
Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a very nice looking custom bike, I've got to admit. But there were some cool ones. I really liked the Hope. I really liked the GT as well. That looked really nice. The Force, Katie Winton's one, I think it was.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, very, very nice. There's some cool looking bikes, and there were some things we liked. But let's take a look at some things that didn't go so well out on the trail for you guys right now, because it's time for fails and bails. So hold tight. Neil, are you ready?
No.
Here we go. Wow, they were some nasty bumps.
Yes.
It happens. It happens. The amount of videos we get every week on fails and fails is frightening.
And I recognise lots of the places as well now. I've seen a lot from Bentonville.
Oh, you guys are going for it. Yes, terrible. Right, thank you for sending them in. Please keep sending them because we do enjoy watching them. Let's take a look at what's coming up on the channel this week. Neil, what are you looking forward to most?
I'm going to self-indulge mine. There's two videos this weekend that I'm doing. Tomorrow's video, I think is a really cool project that I got involved with. Basically, I gave away a free cool bike to a kid that did some amazing things. So
incredible.
Tune in tomorrow to find out how basically what you need to do to get a free bike. From me, at least.
But it's not easy to achieve. Let's just say that.
No,
it's very,
cool.
very impressive.
And also, there's part 2 of What's Faster. It's XC versus downhill bike on Sunday.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing this How to Become a Pro Mountain Biker video.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because I've no idea how I did it.
Was it pure luck?
Literally. It's along those lines. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Is there a way that you can actually just design your way into it?
Probably.
Let's find out. Time for the bike fault, Neil, and I've got a challenge for you in this. Spot the idler.
Oh, okay.
I'll spot it because I hate them. They're horrible. Yeah.
Well, definitely not the first one. This is a Scott Spark, one of those new fancy ones that Nino's been riding to great success. It's a longer travel. What are they? It's 120 rear travel on these bikes, 130 up front. I think that's the way XC bikes are going.
Yeah, XC's got gnarly.
And this is Phil's Scott in Kalamunda, Western Australia.
What are you going to give that, Neil? What are you going to give
look,
that?
He's got those bird poly-light spokes. They're like material spokes. That is fancy. He says, just built a new set of wheels, DT Swiss hubs, those spokes I've talked about, and Duke Lucky Jack SL S3 Ultra rims, weighing in at 998 grams for the wheel set. I don't know
what we're saying.
That's super nice. Come on.
Next up, we have got Sean's Cavents. God, look at it. I was wondering what was up with this bike. I'm only kidding. It's very, very nice. It's in the Peak District. It's quite an interesting build, that one, isn't it?
It's not a steel frame, is it?
I believe it is a steel frame.
Cavens VHP Virtual High Pivot 16?
Yeah.
I
don't love the idler, but it is a very cool bike, so I think it's a super nice.
Have you ever seen that brand before?
No, I don't know
It's
that
got
brand.
those fancy titanium cranks in it. Who makes those? I've forgotten already. Cane Creek. Oh, look.
Next up.
Cannondale Jekyll, the winning bike underneath Ella Connolly from the weekend. This is Richard's bike, Castle Ground Stornoway, Isle of Lewis. Check that out.
Ring the bell, then. Go on, ring.
Go on.
Go on, ring.
The brand new Cannondale Jekyll, full carbon frame, guidler wheel, that's what we call it. Shimano XT Group Set 203. Yeah, that is a good looking bike.
Even I excuse the guidler on that one.
Whoa.
Next up, I put this one in here because I thought you'd quite like this, Neil.
It's going back to it. It's a giant Trance 3 from 2006 in Trinidad and Tobago. So Timothy's bike. Check it out. 26. I know he's got a 27.5 up front.
Yeah, he's running the mullet look. I tell you what, that is really. I remember when that bike came out and how good it was.
Yeah.
So I've got good vibes about that one.
Nice.
Nice. Next up, we've got. This has got no information with it, so we're going to move straight on. Next up, we have got Christian's Kotick.
Yeah,
Flare
in
Max.
South Africa. Who doesn't love the round steel frame?
Kotick or Kotick?
Kotick, I think. Well, I'm not 100% sure now, so.
Hang on a minute, I've got to pull that face. I said the name wrong.
Yeah. Olin's fork up front. What else got on there? Hope
bits.
Cranks, SRAM Exo. That's a nice looking bike.
Yeah, I think that's a super.
Some fast looking rubber on that bike.
Super nice. Next up, we have got. Wow,
Oh, Kamenkel.
It's a Kamenkel.
Zenitize Kamenkel in George Washington Bridge, New York.
Yeah.
Finally getting a new bike after settling down in New York. Nice.
I like it a lot. I like
Pimped it
it a
out with
lot.
some NV M7 wheels. Chris King headset. Nice.
And it's got that fancy Ohlins stuff on it.
Come on.
Go on. Next up, we have got. I like this shot. It is of a Rocky Mountain altitude from Thomas
Yeah.
in a Grootfontein bike park in South Africa.
Yeah.
It is a very cool shot.
First ride at some of my favourite trails and getting the bike dialed. New bike day.
Not bad. I'd give that a super nice. Very good. And that is the last bike in the bike vault this week.
Love it.
I enjoyed some of those, except for the idlers. They were painful. The Guidler I liked. If you've got a great bike, of course you have, send it into the Bike Vault and we could be judging it next week, but we've no right to judge. We like them all. But is it a super nice? There's only one way to find out. Send your bike into the uploader. But Neil, we are done for this week.
Oh, well, it's time to run off. It's World Cup weekend. There's a lot of racing going this weekend.
There's an awful lot happening.
EWS again next weekend. So we're in the mountain bike season. I'm going to
good times are here.
Sit on my. Funnily enough, it's weird. Race season starts and I stop riding, so I sit on my sofa and watch all the racing.
Just watch it all. Absolutely. If you're coming to the festival, we will see you there.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. If you're not, don't worry. We'll be giving you lots of updates, and the Dirt Shed Show will be coming from Sailback next week. But until then, it's goodbye from me.
See ya.